Hello, my name is Kele, and I'm representing Bloc Party here at South by Southwest with Music Connection magazine. How does it feel? It feels okay. It feels okay. I'd kind of forgotten how busy it is, how busy all this stuff is. But it's kind of all come back to me now. But it's cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing the shows. They just try to avoid as much of it as possible by staying in the hotel out of town. Because it's not really. I understand for the people who are coming here as fans, it's probably exciting. But for us, it's always slightly stressful. So we prefer to just come in, do our thing, and go. So. I think this tactic of making sure I stay away from what's happening in the city is something I learned from the previous few times of coming to South by, and realising how stressful it was the whole time. So now we're here. I just want to make sure we come in, do our show, and we go. It's not about hanging around. I might try and see some acts. I don't know who else is playing though. I don't know anyone who's playing actually. So I don't know if I will see anyone. But. Yeah, I mean it's a big festival. I mean I'm not sure because I'm not American, but I know that it's a big industry festival here in the States, and it can have lots of ramifications in the music industry. But again, I'm not American, so I don't really know how it's affected us. But they keep asking us back, so I guess it must be a good thing to do. Yes. No, I don't think it's helped or hindered anything. I think that the band wouldn't have continued unless we'd had the shake-up. So, yeah, I feel that I feel that our lineup change was an inevitable part of the evolution of the band. I mean, we wouldn't be here if we hadn't switched things up a bit. Yeah, it's definitely left us all feeling a lot more invigorated and a lot more excited about being in a band and being creative. So yeah, I think it's been a good thing. I mean, every album feels different. Every album that we put out feels like it's been a document of the time that we had making the record and our experiences and what we were going through at the time. So this album doesn't feel different in that respect. It feels like it's an encapsulation of where we were at as musicians and as and as artists. And I think in 2014, mentally, we were in a very different place to where we were when we made our previous album 4. So I think that's reflected in the music, really. I wouldn't respond to that. It's not really my job to respond to what other people say or think. I can only really talk about my experiences and my intentions. I can't comment about what other people read into the music. I think with every song it tends to be different. With this record, I guess, calling the album Hymns, we were maybe intentionally trying to mine a kind of almost spiritual feeling. I'm not a religious person, but I am very fascinated by religious and devotional music. So I think this album was an attempt to explore that, I guess, really, to understand, an attempt to understand what, a form of sacredness, sacred music, given that I'm not a religious person. I think that was the starting point, really. It was, how do I explore something that feels sacred? Well, it tends to be quite emotional and quite cathartic and usually quite sweaty. I think it will definitely be sweaty given the temperature right now. But yeah, I think we really try to give our all to the performance. So I think the fans will appreciate that. I would say pace yourself, and don't get seduced by all the free clothes and the free stuff and the parties. Just pace yourself, drink plenty of water, and try and put on the best show that you possibly can. Well, I think we're all excited about the fact that we're going to be recording new music soon. So I think that's something that we're all very excited about. Yeah, and we want to see how that pans out. So.